When you arrived, sir, we were going through the first 3 acts. Not unsuccessfully upon the whole.
How dare Henry go like that, laughing, and not a word to me?
My dear girl, a man like Henry isn't so easily roped.
Don't suppose I was the one doing the chasing.
We had hoped, sir, to beg your indulgence. As inexperienced players.
My indulgence shall be given, Tom, but without the play acting. Do you find Mr. and Miss Crawford agreeable acquaintances?
Indeed. Mr. Crawford is very pleasant, and Miss Crawford is a lively, pretty girl.
I do not say he's not a gentleman, considering. But, as your father cannot fail to have noticed, he's too short to be considered a well-looking man.
But Father, you've not told us the outcome of your stay in Antigua.
I'm happy to say our affairs in Antigua do now prosper.
I hope you won't mind my asking, sir. But now that you have lived amongst it, do you believe slavery can continue in the same way?
Our little cousin is a friend to abolition.
I think, my dear, we may very well do without slavery. But without order, we are lost.
You must excuse me. I am unwell.
Since I've been home, it has occurred to me that Mr. Rushworth was perhaps accepted on too short an acquaintance. I'm well aware what an advantageous alliance it would be for you and for the family. But you must not sacrifice your happiness to it. Marriage is a serious undertaking. You have no particular reason to repent your engagement. Over dinner, I wondered if perhaps some new acquaintance had made you regret it.
Not at all.
If it is your wish, I may still act to release you. It's not too late. You must be perfectly open and sincere with me.
I thank you, sir, for your most generous attention. But I assure you, you are mistaken. I have the highest regard for Mr. Rushworth's character and disposition. I am honored by his status and his fortune. What more could I wish for?
Oh, how wonderful.
It is my greatest glory, Miss Crawford, to take a little of the credit for bringing the admiration of Mr. Rushworth for our dearest angel Maria into effect.
Thank you.
Maria, you must write to me every day from London and tell me all about it.
Congratulations, Mr. Rushworth.
Goodbye.
Weddings are such a bore. Thank God the racing season started so I can escape. Even Father wouldn't insist I'm here through Cheltenham. I need another drink. You sighed, Miss Crawford.
Waving goodbye to your sister has made me wonder what there is to keep me at Mansfield.
Will you not stay for my sake?
I confess I can't imagine it being pleasant enough to spend half the year at Mansfield. But in a country cottage, no.
Might you not feel differently in time?
You think I should be the one to change? I doubt it, Mr. Bertram. I'm stubborn, you know. And I always get my way in the end.
Miss Price, I am come to visit the scene of the crime. I shall always look back on our theatricals with such pleasure. We were alive. I was never happier. Don't you think we're unlucky, Miss Price? Don't you think fate might have indulged us with another week?
No, I don't. I think everyone indulged themselves enough.
Well, that was a very proper wedding. The bride was beautiful. The bridesmaids suitably inferior. Mary? Well, how's young Bertram? I scarcely spoke a word to him all day.
Edmund is as ever Edmund was, determined on obscurity. He will not change his mind. He's soon to be ordained. His living will be 700 a year.
Oh, well, I'm glad he'll be so well off. A very pretty income to make ducks and drakes with.
You would look rather blank, Henry, if you were limited to 700 a year.
Perhaps, but all that is comparative.
Exactly.
And then, until we came here, I never imagined a country cottage could have so much the air of a gentleman's residence. In fact, I've made up my mind to stay longer.
Henry, what are you up to?
I fancy having Miss Price fall in love with me.
Fanny? Oh, what nonsense.
Haven't you noticed the wonderful improvement in her looks?
Look, the truth is there's no one else for you to notice, and you have to have someone. Well, perhaps a little bit of love might do her good. She's very sweet, and I will not have you make her unhappy. Really, I couldn't bear it if you had turned out like our stepfather.
All I'm asking is to make a small hole in Fanny Price's heart.
Fanny! My dear sister! I chose it for you in Sicily.
Thank you. Oh, William, you can't imagine how much I've missed you.
Have you? But you are happy in Mansfield, aren't you, Fanny? They are kind to you.
Yes, they are kind. And of course, I love them all as I should. But my only real friend is Edmund.
Edmund, yes. In your letters, you spoke so often of Edmund, I was quite jealous. I thought he'd taken my place.
No one could ever do that. Besides, what I feel for Edmund is... it's different. He isn't my brother.
Just off Trieste, we chased the enemy sail until we were close enough to fire on her, at which she returned our salute with a broadside that came scouring along the decks, tore through the foresail, made a large dent in a brass gun, rebounded away into the open sea.
Good heavens!
Amazing. Luckily, we were all on the countryside, or it would have killed and wounded a good many.
Dear me, how very disagreeable. I wonder anyone can ever go to sea.
I couldn't feel more differently. When listening to Mr. Price, I envy him every danger. To have gone through such hardships. And the glory of such heroism puts me to shame.
There is nothing heroic about what I do, Mr. Crawford. I'm just an ordinary midshipman.
It's still a remarkable thing to have given such proof of character so young.
I do wish to distinguish myself, sir. But the truth is, I have no commission as yet. Sometimes I think I'll never be made lieutenant.
William.
Good morning, sir.
How are you enjoying your stay at Mansfield Park, young man?
Very much indeed, sir. But I only have 2 days left. And tomorrow is Fanny's birthday.
Of course. Well, then we must celebrate. I have not seen Fanny dance since she was a little girl. What say we throw our niece a ball before her brother goes back to sea? It's high time she came out.
Surely not.
Must I?
Well, indeed you must. It's your birthday.
Then may I not have my own way?
No, my dear, you may not. Because it is your day, it is your duty to consider everyone else. We need only make a small party.
But may I not choose the occasion? I should like it to be the same as the last birthday I had with William. A picnic.
A picnic? I see nothing against that.
Thank you, Sir Thomas.
A picnic indeed. A picnic for half the county. The nonsense and folly of people stepping out of their rank. Now that you are to move into company, Fanny, you must never forget. Whatever the occasion, you must always be the lowest and the last.
Oh, I shall never forget that. Unless, of course, I'm enjoying myself too much to remember.
I thought it might look well with William's cross.
This is beautiful. How can I ever thank you?
Oh, by accepting it for what it is, a token of love from one of your oldest friends.
What can I do? Miss Crawford has also sent me a necklace.
Miss Crawford has given you a necklace? Then, my dear Fanny, you must wear it.
Well, I don't want to. And anyway, yours is far more suited to my cross.
How extraordinary that she and I should have had the same thought. She shows her affection for you, whereas to me, she seems determined to torment me. I'm sure she doesn't mean half the things she says, but you know, the kind of life Mary wants. Hectic, fashionable life in London. Could I ever live as she wants?
Well, what about the life you want to live? Haven't you always said that being a clergyman isn't about having a comfortable parish or even preaching a good sermon? It's about living a good life.
Yes, and so it is. But enough of my problems. Tomorrow is your day.
Then you must indulge me, Edmund, and see it first as I prefer.
There. It could not look better.